Good day, everyone. My name is Elizabeth, and I am the group leader for this presentation. Today, my group and I will be discussing on the topic, the role of logic in everyday arguments and human reasoning in contemporary Nigerian society. Joining me in this presentation are
Aisha,
Oluwaimi Moyilowa,
Niniola Okoyemi, Sunday Victoria.
Nigeria today, arguments happen everywhere in politics, churches, markets, schools, and most especially social media. People often make strong claims without checking whether those claims are logical or supported by evidence. This is why logic is important. Logic teaches us how to think clearly, ask questions, and make better decisions. It also teaches us how to separate facts from emotion, good reason from bad reason. In this presentation, we are going to explain the meaning of logic and how it affects everyday life in Nigeria, common fallacy people make, and why critical thinking affects society today. I will now hand over to Kazim Akin, who will explain the meaning of logic and why it matters.
Thank you, Elizabeth. My name is Kazim Akin. Logic is the study of correct reasoning. Logic strengthens critical thinking and sound judgment. It helps us know whether an argument makes sense or not. An argument in logic is not necessarily a quarrel. It simply means giving reasons to support a claim. For example, if you buy land without proper documents, you may lose it. Therefore, you should verify land document before payment. This is a logical argument because the conclusion is supported by a reasonable premise. Logic matters in Nigeria's diverse society because some people make decisions emotionally instead of rationally. Some believe fake news online. Some invest in fake business. Some support politicians without verifying facts. Logic helps us slow down and ask some important questions like, what is the evidence? Is the conclusion reasonable? Are the facts true? Without logic, people can easily be manipulated. Reasoning is the proof of our existence. As René Descartes famously said, cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. Let's embrace logic to build a better future. Now, I hand over to Adeupoko Aishat, who will discuss about logic in everyday Nigeria arguments.
Good day, everyone. I'm Aderofoko Aisha. Logic plays an important role in everyday's arguments in Nigeria. For example, in politics, some may say it's from my tribe, so he must be the best leader. But logic asks, is tribal identity enough qualification? Does the person have experience and integrity? What evidence shows he's competent? Another example is in the market, where someone says this product is foreign, so it must be better. That is not always true. Logic helps us analyze claims instead of accepting them blind. In churches, schools, relationships, and even on social media, people often argue emotionally rather than rationally. Critical thinking helps us examine ideas carefully before reacting or agreeing. When Nigerians begin to think logically, the society becomes more responsible, informed, and peaceful. Hand over to Oluwayemi Moyilowa, who will explain critical thinking and sound judgment.
Thank you. My name is Oluwaimi Moyilowa. Critical thinking means thinking carefully, intelligently, and independently before making conclusions. Instead of following crowd, a critical thinker examines the facts and evidence. For example, many scams promises, invest 10,000 naira and become a millionaire tomorrow. A critical thinker will ask, is this realistic? Is this company trustworthy? And what proof do they have? Logic has helped people to avoid scams, fake news, and manipulation. Another important idea is valid reasoning. An argument is valid when the conclusion logically follows from the premises. Take, for example, all students must attend lecture. John is a student. Therefore, John must attend lecture. This is logically valid. Judgment happens when the reasoning is both logical and based on true facts. Critical thinking has helped Nigerians to make wise decisions in education, politics, business, and relationships. I'll now invite Onodeko Farouk to discuss about logical fallacy.
Good day, I am Onodeko Farouk Olarewaju. Fallacies are mistakes in reasoning that appear correct but are actually misleading. Many fallacies are common in Nigerian society today. One example is fallacy of attacking the person, argumentum ad hominem, where people criticize or attack an individual's ethnicity or religion instead of their actual ideals. For example, the preacher's teaching must be false because he was once arrested. Another fallacy is hasty generalization. For example, I met one dishonest person from that tribe, so everybody from that tribe is dishonest. That is unfair because one example cannot represent an entire group. Another common fallacy is appeal to ignorance. argumentum ad ignorantiam. People may say nobody has proven this rumor false, so it must be true. But lack of proof is not proof of truth. Logic helps us identify these errors and avoid being deceived by fake news, propaganda. I will now hand over to Niniola Okoyemi, who will explain the role of logic in social and political life.
Thank you. My name is Niniola Okoyemi. Logic is very important in both social and political life in Nigeria. In relationship and marriages, many arguments happen because people react emotionally instead of discussing issues logically. For example, someone may say, "You do not love me because you did not buy me a gift." But logic reminds us that love is more than material things. In politics, many citizens vote based on tribe, religion, or money instead of policies and competence. Logic encourages Nigerians to ask, what are the candidates' plans? What has the candidate achieved? Are the promises realistic? When citizens think critically, democracy improves. Political discussion become based on facts instead of insult or violence. Logic also promotes tolerance, understanding, and peaceful dialogue in the society. I will now invite our final speaker, Sunday Victoria, for the conclusion.
Good day, everyone. I am Sunday Victoria. In conclusion, logic is not only for philosophy students or academics, it's an important life skill for everyone. Logic helps Nigerians to think clearly, avoid manipulations, detect fallacies, make informed decisions, and solve problems peacefully. In a society filled with fake news, online scams, political propaganda, and emotional arguments, critical thinking has become more useful than ever. Our group has discussed logic can improve education, politics, religion, relationship, and everyday communication in Nigeria. So we believe that logic and critical thinking should be encouraged in schools and society to help citizens become more responsible and rational thinkers. Thank you, everyone, for listening to our presentation.
Think,
Question.
Analyze,
reason,
Understand?
because logic matters.
Thank you.